I'm going to do something new this time. I don't like breaking down demos into parts, but there's just way too much information, critical information here. So I'm going to do three parts. The first one is going to be planning and blank preparation. The second one is establishing the best axis on the lathe. And then the third is going to be actually the turning with the voids. I'm sure that it will be helpful and entertaining for all skill levels. Hello, welcome to my shop again. We're going to have a little bit of fun today, and we're going to do a bowl that's actually bigger than the tree. And if we use a crotch where the branches are coming up, then we end up with a heart-shaped bowl. We can do it rather deep, or we can do it rather shallow. We could do it without a crotch, just a straight grain tree with the pith in the middle, and the natural edges of the bark edge becomes a natural edge of the tree. Again, we're going to do a piece that's bigger than the tree. All right. So what we're going to do today is this little walnut crotch. Very nice character and figure, where the walnut is usually have a pretty spectacular flame and color. I want to show you the planning process, which is more important than actually doing the bowl. You've seen me and others do bowls before, so it's all about capturing the grain and color and shape of the wood that we're after here. So let's get started. Okay, what we're going to do today is a bowl that has a larger diameter than the tree. Might sound a little funny, but we have some options, especially when we have something like a crotch. Normally we think about having a bowl that's the same size as the tree, and we end up doing something like this, right? My favorite way to do a crotch is to actually do a smaller scale. I'll use just where the flame and the character of the burl is in between the pith. So I'll take, after I cut the tree in half lengthwise, I'll take this sweet spot right here and make a bowl. Okay, so now I'm making a bowl smaller than the tree because of the essence of the color and character that I can get from the crotch figure. All right, but in this case I'm going to take a third plan, and we're going to do a bowl that's bigger than the diameter of the tree, and we're going to come out here like this. And what happens when we make a bowl out of this is a high spot here, we got a high spot here, we got a high spot here, right? So when we take all the wood away and start to make a bowl, we start to do this. Okay, making a heart-shaped bowl. So something like that. Okay. Now when we bring that down here and we think about the shape of the bowl that we're going to make, if I'm doing a small bowl, I could make a fairly deep-shaped bowl, something like this. If I'm doing the medium-sized bowl, I could take a number of options. I could do a shallow bowl, or I could do more of a deep-sided bowl, right? If I wanted to. I don't particularly like that shape where the deep-sided are. The shape with a nice continuous arc seems to show the grain and the color and the character of the wood better. When you do this shape here, you often have a ring around there where the transition is, where it's a sharper radius. The light reflects differently there, and it interrupts the flow of the wood. Okay, and in my case, I'm going to come all the way out here, and my high spot's going to be here and here and here, right? So I'm going to make a shallow bowl, and the bottom of it's going to have where all the crotch figure is here, where the piths separate in the bottom of the bowl have capture the character. In the turning world, we have really two ways to tackle turning or creating on the lathe. One is to go find a piece of wood, put it on the lathe, and see what happens. Just start turning and something nice is going to show up, right? I am plan B on that is a different tack. I'm more of a control freak, and so I know I'm going to do a heart-shaped bowl, and I'm going to go find a piece of wood that will do that for me. And they're not easy. The crotches aren't perfectly symmetrical, but I did find this one that's probably a fairly rare to have the crotch in a real Y here. And it's a piece of walnut, so the character in the crotch is going to be pretty spectacular. It usually is in walnut. So I'll show you how I plan. Most of this video is going to be about the planning and getting ready to do this. Once we get it on the lathe, a bowl is a bowl. It's the same process that I've used for all the other ones, and we'll rush through that. But I'm going to take some time and go through the planning here. So first of all, I want to find the circumference of my bowl being bigger than the tree. So now we're looking right down on the crotch, and I've got made this years ago, just a piece of plexiglass that I drew circles on just to give me a radius or a diameter, and I can lay this on here and I can move it around. I can see, well, where's my center? The center's got to be where some solid wood is. I can't have the center over here in the void, so the center's going to be where the wood is. Okay, so I'm going to take this where this dotted line is here and follow it around and just put a little, first of all, a little mark where center is going to be, and then I can give myself a little line here. And another line here. Oh, it's showing up on the camera. Okay. And another line here. Okay, so now I know where to make my chainsaw cuts. This looks like at that point in the circle, it looks like it's going to be a pretty big bowl, something about 13 inches in diameter. So that's good. It's going to be a shallow bowl and nice and wide, but it'll have a real accentuated heart shape when we get done. Okay, it's really nice to have an electric chainsaw that you can use in the shop. Sometimes I do this out in the yard, but it's first week of April here in Michigan, and it's snowing outside, so we're going to do it inside today. Make sure you wear all your safety gear. Notice on the Y's here that I'm cutting on an angle which matches the circumference of the bowl. Really nice working on the workmate here where you can reach it nicely. Okay, now we're going to cut this in half, and all of the character is in the middle of the tree where the piths are, and so I'm going to cut it in half so that that character is in the bottom of my bowl, and the top of the bowl is going to be a natural edge at the bark edge. Okay, so the lines that I have on there are the lines right through the pith, so I have an axis to do the chainsaw cut on. And on the other end, okay, I've decided that this is the less desirable side, and so this is going to be my A and this is going to be my B. And so I'm going to make my chainsaw cut just a little bit on the B side of my line, so that the waste wood in the crotch figure is going to be left in my A piece. Okay, so if you watch where I make my chainsaw cut, it's just a little bit off center from where the pith is. Now if you notice, I'm using a workmate inside the shop here because it has this gap. It sits in a cradle even when it's just a regular tree piece of wood. It's stable to cut the ends off, and this is a good way to hold it inside the shop. It gets me off my knees, off the floor, gets it up at waist high, so I don't have to bend over to do the chainsaw. Note I made a little notch there at the tip and at the heel of the saw so that I could get it started on a straight line and then work my way down. Do part way from one side, come back and cut it all the way through. Now watch, my saw is going to go right through the middle between the workmate and just leave the saw alone until it stops. Okay, now this is the B side, so there's still some character in here. This will make a nice shallow plate also, but this is my A side. It's a little bit deeper. It has a little bit more character and color in it. Thanks again for watching. Look for part 2 and 3 coming up soon. And another thank you to the sponsors, Hunter and Thompson Tools. Thanks for your help.